So I've been getting some questions about this whole new email verification, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, DMARC, like all these acronyms like for both Dubsado and Flodesk, and it's just, what does this mean? So today's video, I'm gonna just talk you through it in my way of what you need to do. These are the types of people I'm covering. It's gonna be Flodesk users, Dubsado users, like those are the two big ones. I'm gonna show you examples with my own stuff, which is using a Google Workspace, and my domain is in GoDaddy. So like high level real quick, you most likely have an email address, hello@bestphotography.com email, right? That email, if you're watching me, it's probably in a Google Workspace, but you also have the domain of awesomewebsite.com. That domain is also hosted somewhere, and I don't know where that is for you. There are tools to look it up to figure out like, where did I buy my domain? But it was somewhere where you got the idea for your business and you're like, oh, I wonder if that website exists. And you go Googling and you check somewhere to buy it. Common places to buy it are gonna be like when you built your Squarespace website and you just got it through Squarespace, you got it through Google, you got it through GoDaddy, and there's other ones as well. But those are just the ones on the top of my head. So you need to figure out where your domain is. Now the beautiful thing with Flodesk is they're gonna help you out the best. If you're here confused, I'm gonna say we're gonna start with Flodesk and look at our settings through that to get you connected, because they have done a beautiful job of handling it for you. They tell you, say verify now, and anyways, let's just get to it. So inside of Flodesk, you're gonna go to your settings and domain setup, and you'll see here I have a secondary email that I actually don't need anymore. So I'm gonna go over to email setup and remove that alternate sender because I'm not using that anymore. I just don't wanna see it. So we're gonna go to domain setup and we will hit verify now. And then we're just gonna automatically verify my domain. It's going to ask some questions, or not, it's gonna prompt you like to log into whoever your website is through. So it says, okay, here's your GoDaddy. It's gonna prompt you to log in to that account. I'm not gonna show you my details, but once it does that, it's going to get you verified. GoDaddy actually uses two-factor authentication, so I had to get a code. So I put my code in, and then it's doing all the magic behind the scenes to make sure we're good to go. Cool. And then it's done. So basically what just happened is it put in the TXT files, like all the information you need for your DKIM, your SPF, and your DMARC for Flodesk. So here we can refresh, hit verify now, like we're just gonna see. Sometimes it takes 48 hours for them all to populate. Whenever you make changes to your DNS settings, it can take some time to update them on the back end, but we will see here in just a few minutes. I am going from partially verified to fully verified without having to do any of the tech stuff. Y'all, Flodesk has made this so easy, I can't even talk about it. And you are having issues with your DNS settings, like it wasn't as easy as what I just showed you. I'm sorry, I'm not actually a tech expert. I know like how to get it done on the easy way, like with the way that these organizations have prompted you to do stuff. So if you're having issues, I'm not your troubleshooter, so please don't, like you can leave a comment below, maybe someone else can answer it, but I will not have answers for you if what I just showed you did not work. So once it's verified, you'll get all three fully verified. It's beautiful, you are set. Okay, the reason why we are verifying our emails is to make sure that Google and Yahoo, they're just making sure they're not spammy or sending under a false thing. So you're able to send emails when you don't actually own the domain. when, I don't know. I don't really know all the spamminess because I'm not a spammer, but I know it's a thing. So what Google's trying to do is ensure that it's you as a sender are the actual owner of that domain, and you can verify it because you have access to your DNS settings, which proves you own the domain. It's not just like a ghost-righted, like, whatever. I don't know if you've ever gotten those emails and it's, oh, Sally at it's not google.com, it's googleserve.com or something like weird like that. And it's, hey, you need to click this link to do this thing. Is that real? Is that real? I can't fully tell if this is real or not. So we're just gonna make ourselves legit. That's what we're doing here. We're making ourselves legit. So in Dubsado, we're gonna go ahead and talk about our emails as well for Dubsado. So you wanna connect your email. Again, I'm a Google Workspace girl, but if you've got a Microsoft account, fine. Or if you have a third party, like somewhere else, it's fine. It's totally fine. But you're gonna go ahead and connect it. And then the email deliverability, it says optional. I'm telling you that is no longer optional. We have to have an SPF record on your DNS. There's a very solid chance because if you just did the Flodesk one, you now have an SPF record on your account anyways. And oftentimes, if you do have an actual Google Workspace that's tied to your domain, they'll actually put onto it anyways. So if you want to add the SPF to your domain manually, I'm going to show you what it looks like in GoDaddy. So I go to my products and I go over to domain and then manage my DNS settings. And then here, if you scroll down, you'll see I actually do have some SPF records listed because I set this up with Google. So I do have SPF records there. I was shocked when I hooked this up to Dubsado because I didn't think I'd set anything up. What is this for? But when I got my Google Workspace, it had it. But here is how you can add it. You can do the text and drop in that paste that you just grabbed and then just hit the at sign here, and then you can save it, which I'm not gonna save because it's already listed. I don't have to add it again. So really these organizations are making sure you're a verified sender anyways because you're doing it the right way to begin with. So yeah, and here's some information. I'm gonna link these articles down below because that's your SPF record, which is easy. Now for your DKIM record, we wanna go into your Gmail workspace and we want to generate a new record, and then it will populate the two fields to grab. And you do want the 2048 unless your domain doesn't take it, then you want to use the other one, but the 2048 is the right one. And grab your record name for that TXT file, and we go back to our DNS settings and we add a new record, and we would type the TXT. The record name is that first one, and then the record value is that second bit of information. And just paste that all in, the value, and then save it. And it's gonna again take a minute to be authenticated and verified on the back end in your workspace, but you can make sure that the DKIM records are done. So you've generated it, you've put it in, now you need to start the authentication. Then you get from not authenticated to authenticating, and that's how you're good. Your SPF again is the TXT record that Dubsado will give you there, and your DKIM record, you have to go into your admin space of your Google Workspace, and under Google Workspace, Gmail, you have your domains, settings for Gmail, then you have an authenticate email is what you're looking for there. I'll drop the DKIM tutorials down below so you can check them out and follow what Google says step by step. And then the last thing is what I think is pretty cool is you can double check your email deliverability and if you're going to pass like inbox or if you're going to end up in spam. So there is a website called mxtoolbox.com, but if you go mxtoolbox.com/deliverability, again, it's linked below. I'm not sponsored by them. I like their free service, and I like I don't know, it feels like an authentic report that generates, and I don't know, I like it. But you're able to go to that website. It gives you the email to send an email to, so grab that. And I'm really curious if my Dubsado can send an email to somebody and it go through. Like, I really want to know that. So I'm gonna open up a project, hit send email, and I'm gonna remove all the recipients from it and then paste what I just got from MX Toolbox. And then I'm just gonna keep the email super simple because they don't need my photograph. I don't need to be sending that to them. But you send it, you go back to your deliverability tool and type in the email address that you just sent that from. So whatever email address you have in your settings under your emails with your clients, and then you'll get delivery information. So you'll see here my DMARC, my SPF, my DKIM. I've gotten green checks everywhere. It's really happy with all the settings on the email, and that just made me feel good because I'm like, okay, somebody else checked it, amazing, because we do not want to be ending up in spam folders, because when you end up in spam folders, you get flagged for spam because your back end's not set up properly. You're missing leads, you're missing clients, communication's not going through quickly. So I highly suggest just making sure just everything's set up. The DMARC, I didn't really walk us through here because DMARC's only needed, the Google, whatever policies have been coming out, it's only needed if you're sending more than 5,000 emails a day. And the majority of my people here in this corner of YouTube don't have that big of a sender ability. And especially you're not doing that through Dubsado, I would think. You don't have 5,000 emails going out. If you're the small business that uses Dubsado, you're not sending that many emails through it. But Flodesk will set up your DMARC for you in that one-click setup. Or you're always welcome to do it manually with Flodesk, but why do something manually when you can do it automatically? That's all I'm saying. Save yourself some time and let them serve you and get it done, and beautiful. I hope you feel much better about these different settings than you did before watching this video. I'm Lauren, I run The Smarter Creative, and I'm just helping creative business owners work smarter in their business instead of harder. I'm so glad you're here. Be sure to subscribe to follow along on this beautiful journey, and I'll see you guys next week.